what to think anymore, Mac.
Berenice, there it is. You recognize your own handiwork? The heads of Baphomet, exact copies. Not even my expert eye can distinguish between the original and the fake.
Mac, what you see here is my life's work. It is really perfect. It is good work.
I'm not sure I've grasped the magnitude of this business. But one thing's for sure. You are not safe, Berenice. Be careful. I will do everything in my power to put a stop to these crimes. Everything.
Find the killer for me, Mac. I will manage on my own.
Now, Mr. McPherson, I was just thinking about you. Good to see you again. Have you brought me any more culprits?
We've been barking up the wrong tree from the start, Inspector. The Whites never were the Whites.
The Whites were not the Whites? McPherson, what are you talking about?
The Whites do not exist. I have their passports here. They are American citizens. They did not arrive in Paris a few days ago. They got here over a month ago. You want to know what name they used? Johnson, Inspector.
All right. Let's suppose they were using pseudonyms. Could you tell me why?
Ruby and Regis are not the real names of the Orphée victims. I have in my possession a ring that clearly indicates the woman's name was Faye.
That does not prove anything, McPherson. What about all the sweet talk, huh? Faye and Ferry. Of course. Why complicate things to my Ferry with love?
A letter. A letter signed Sophia Blake confirms that they were hired to commit a robbery. The letter is addressed to Faye and Jerome Johnson, Inspector.
Thieves? What did they steal then, McPherson? We did not find anything in their room, and moreover, no one has brought up charges. Explain that.
They robbed Gregoire d'Alpin. The plan was orchestrated by the same woman who hired me, Sophia Blake. This is a major con trick, Inspector.
D'Alpin? Gregoire d'Alpin? The banker? McPherson, I assure you that a man as important as Gregoire d'Alpin would have called on the police to solve this case. He has the means, believe me.
D'Alpin is dead. He's been dead for over a week.
What are you talking about? If anything happens to Mr. d'Alpin, I assure you heads will roll.
It's strange, but it's true. Doubtless d'Alpin preferred to sort this business out in the greatest secrecy. Just ask Hellouin. He's the one who investigated it.
I would have to check with Monsieur d'Alpin. I can't tell you more, McPherson.
If you have any doubts about d'Alpin's involvement, I have something that will convince you, Inspector. A glass vial, taken from his home, identical to the one found broken in the White's room.
McPherson, Gregoire d'Alpin is surely not the only man in the world to own such a vial. It proves nothing.
Stop protecting d'Alpin. He's the only man in Paris who can obtain these vials. The only one capable of putting this gas inside them. The purple gas he uses to put his victims to sleep.
Leave the vial with me. I will have it examined.
Here you are.
Thank you, McPherson.
Inspector Lebrun, what I have shown you is irrefutable proof of Hellouin's innocence. I found the knife used to cut off the victims' heads.
The murder weapon must be a knife of extreme precision, medical precision, with an incredibly sharp blade. Show me what you have, McPherson. This
is the murder weapon, just as I found it at Gregoire d'Alpin's home.
Thank you, McPherson.
D'Alpin looks to have died peacefully of old age. Nothing like the other murders. I have a photo here. See for yourself.
Even if Mr. D'Alpin had died of natural causes, it would not prove Halloween's innocence, McPherson. Quite the contrary.
If D'Alpin has been dead for over a week, he couldn't have hired Halloween to investigate. Do you not see, Inspector? Somebody else hired Halloween.
And I suppose you're going to tell me who this mysterious person is, Mr. McPherson.
One gold, one brass. One at D'Alpin's, the other at Kaufner's. 2 ancient coins. These prove that both men were involved in the murders.
Everyone has the right to collect ancient coins. Anyway, what has Dr. Kaufner to do with all this?
That is too much. Will you never face up to the facts? You know as well as I do that coins like these were found on all the victims.
How do you know about the coins?
A couple of anonymous sources are enough to keep me abreast.
Beauvais will get an earful about this. Leave the coins with me. They are evidence.
With this, you can start investigating the true motives behind the murders.
Thank you, McPherson.
I hope these clues will enable us to prove that Halloween is innocent.
I will speak with Halloween, and we shall see. If I understand correctly, the Whites were not the Whites, but the Eatons, who are in fact the Johnsons. A couple of professional con artists hired to retrieve a relic at the Alpins by Sophia Blake. Also your employer, Mr. McPherson. Yet according to this note, Sophia Blake is currently being held hostage by Mr. D'Alpin. Would it be the same D'Alpin we see dead in these photos? Do you understand anything?
It's just that...
That is to say that you and me are going to have a little chat to set this story straight from the beginning.
Lebrun, aren't you tired of making people believe this story? The evidence is there, on the table.
Sir, I advise you to go back to your paintbrushes and leave the authorities to do their job. Now, if you will excuse us...
May I retrieve my documents?
Consider these documents as facts, Mr. McPherson. And without facts, there is no proof.
Yes, and there's the proof of my innocence, Lebrun.
We shall see about that, Halloween. We shall see. Mr. McPherson, goodbye.
Poor Halloween. I did what I could for him. The only thing I've got left now is my conscience. Me, Blake, and my conscience.
Mr. McPherson, did you know that in Tarot, the hanged man is not put to death, but confronted by his destiny instead? Arriving at his journey's end, he is able to see his life again from a new angle. Sometimes, a man thinks of certain events again and discovers that he was tricked, betrayed.
McPherson! Help me, Gustave! Don't let him! He's insane!
This painful blow, this moment when our convictions, our beliefs, our passions are shattered. When you discover your life has been nothing but lies, trickery.
McPherson! Help me down! He'll kill me! He'll kill you! Like he killed all the others! He killed them all! That Kaufner, he killed them!
judged. All guilty of having tricked me, betrayed me, stolen from me. Just as you did Blake. And just as she tricked and betrayed you too, Mr. Macpherson. The Baphomet is mine. It has been mine for centuries. It is my immortality. Give me back the head, Macpherson, or she will be sentenced before the tribunal of God.
The Alpin. You turned to crime, whereas you had the opportunity to live in peace forever.
Their death is fair payment for their treachery.
Haven't you understood that nothing in all this can wipe out your suffering, your grief, your Adeline?
The memory of Adeline lives on stronger than ever.
Her memory. Everything that is left of her memory is in my hands. This vulgar idol, this link with your past, your sole treasure, D'Albe. This is how you will perish, by its destruction.
Hey! Don't forget me!
No. You'll get my bill within the next few days. And the police should be turning up any moment.
What happened to Kovner?
What do you think? The cops carted him off, and he's rotting in jail now.
What some people will do for power.
Yes, some people would do anything for power and money, but not us.